Mr. President, will Israel launch a full-scale ground operation in Lebanon?
Israel is not interested, did not want this war, and is not interested in going to war with Lebanon. But Israel is being attacked from October 8th, but from Lebanon endlessly. And if you look at the situation today, Hezbollah has launched missiles and rockets all over the northern part of Israel. So we will do whatever it takes to bring our citizens back home and enable calm in our cities. That's the situation. So we've shown our capabilities, and we have much more on the way if they will continue.
Mr. President, you say you do not want this war, but nearly 500 people have already been killed, including 25 children. Thousands more have been injured. How do you justify the impact of this military action on Lebanese civilians?
Let's not be mistaken here. The attacks started by Hezbollah, following the horrific terror attack of October 7th by Hamas. They've joined forces as they are proxies of the Iranian empire of evil. And all of these proxies are trying to close in on Israel from all sides of our borders. That's the real situation. Now, Hezbollah has been going on and on. It's a terrorist army which basically hijacked a nation called Lebanon. We tell the Lebanese people that we have no war with them, that we care for them, that we want to enable a peaceful future between us and Lebanon. It should have come long time ago.
Members of the government have called to reoccupy southern Lebanon. Is that also part of the end goal here?
No, it's not. And I must say clearly, we are a very vibrant democracy. And we have a range of opinions that go from the extreme right to the extreme left. Everybody is allowed to say what they feel. This is the true gist of democracy. So people say, but the position of the Israeli government has been clear, and I reiterate it all the time. We don't have territorial expectations or any ambitions in Lebanon or elsewhere. We don't have territorial ambitions in Gaza either. But we have the inherent right which is given to any nation in the world to live in peace and quiet, not to be attacked day in, day out by missiles and rockets and terror.
כמה מילים על האויב. חיזבאללה של היום זה לא חיזבאללה של לפני שבוע. רצף המכות שהוקע בפיקוד והשליטה, בפעילים, באמצעי הלחימה, כל הדברים האלה הם מכות קשות ביותר. ואני מאוד סומך על צה"ל ועל כל מה שהוא עושה, ויש לנו עוד מכות נוספות מוכנות, ואני חושב שיש פה הצגת תכלית, גם בדרום, גם בצפון, למה שנעשה, ואנחנו צריכים להמשיך עד שאנחנו נביא את מה שהחלטנו, להחזיר את התושבים לבתים שלהם בביטחון, שיוכלו לחיות כמו שצריך.
I know many look at the world today and see difficulties and react with despair, but I do not. I won't. As leaders, we don't have the luxury. I recognize the challenges from Ukraine to Gaza to Sudan and beyond. War, hunger, terrorism, brutality, record displacement of people, a climate crisis, democracy at risk, strains within our societies, the promise of artificial intelligence and its significant risk. The list goes on. But maybe because all I've seen and all we have done together over the decades, I have hope. I know there is a way forward. Putin's war has failed at his core aim. He set out to destroy Ukraine, but Ukraine is still free. He set out to weaken NATO, but NATO is bigger, stronger, more united than ever before, with 2 new members, Finland and Sweden. But we cannot let up. The world now has another choice to make. Will we sustain our support to help Ukraine win this war and preserve its freedom, or walk away and let aggression be renewed and a nation be destroyed? I know my answer. We cannot grow weary. We cannot look away. And we will not let up on our support for Ukraine, not until Ukraine wins a just and durable peace. We're also working to bring greater measure of peace and stability to the Middle East. The world must not flinch from the horrors of October 7th. Any country would have the right and responsibility to ensure that such an attack can never happen again. Thousands of armed Hamas terrorists invaded a sovereign state, slaughtering and massacring more than 1,200 people, including 46 Americans, in their homes and at a music festival. Despicable acts of sexual violence, 250 innocents taken hostage. I've met with the families of those hostages. I've grieved with them. They're going through hell. Innocent civilians in Gaza are also going through hell. Thousands and thousands killed, including aid workers. Too many families dislocated, crowding into tents, facing a dire humanitarian situation. They did not ask for this war that Hamas started. I put forward with Qatar and Egypt a ceasefire and hostage deal. It's been endorsed by the UN Security Council. Now is the time for the parties to finalize its terms, bring the hostages home, and secure security for Israel and Gaza free of Hamas' grip, ease the suffering in Gaza, and end this war. Since October 7, we've also been determined to prevent a wider war that engulfs the entire region. Hezbollah, unprovoked, joined the October 7 attack, launching rockets into Israel. Almost a year later, too many on each side of the Israeli-Lebanon border remain displaced. A full-scale war is not in anyone's interest. Even if the situation has escalated, a diplomatic solution is still possible. In fact, it remains the only path to lasting security to allow the residents from both countries to return to their homes and the border safely. And that's what we're working tirelessly to achieve. Progress toward peace will put us in a stronger position to deal with the ongoing threat posed by Iran. Together we must deny oxygen to its terrorist proxies, which have called for more October 7th and ensure that Iran will never, ever obtain a nuclear weapon. Even as we navigate so much change, one thing must not change. We must never forget who we're here to represent. We, the people. These are the first words of our Constitution, the very idea of America. They inspired the opening words of the UN Charter. I made the preservation of democracy the central cause of my presidency. This summer, I faced a decision whether to seek a second term as president. It was a difficult decision. Being president has been the honor of my life. There's so much more I want to get done. As much as I love the job, I love my country more. I decided after 50 years of public service, it's time for a new generation of leadership to take my nation forward. My fellow leaders, let us never forget, some things are more important than staying in power. It's your people